You know what's unexpected or surprising? Me doing podcasts because in real life, if you know me, pretty much I don't talk out loud. I'm pretty much the listener when it comes to having conversation. Well, irony because conversation is like dialogues and then like you listen here, 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 here. Yet I'm the one who listens most of the time. And I'll be the last person to like um, speak my mind. And if I were to take the initiative to start a conversation, it would mostly be like when silence comes, I'll be like, "How's life?" Yeah, I mean, it's like, and then it's like the phrase "How is life?" is pretty much very a poke to your life, to a person's whatever. Wait, to a person's daily life secret, something like that. It's like with just that one sentence, people will be like pouring out their, oh man, I have this and this and this. I mean, it's a very sticky na kotoba. I don't know what's in English, I forgot. Because one thing I realized is that me alone in my room, I always monologue in Japanese. If you guys like pretty much, realize that. Not so weep. I mean, because I always listen to like Japanese radio. For example, All Night Nippon とか、Recommend and Rajira Sunday, something like that. Because pretty much the reason why I started doing podcasts is because of those three radios segment. It's always late night and it's very casual and then just pretty much talk, late night talks. The idea of late night talks is very nice to me personally thinking. Hello there, you're listening to Zolmoli's Thoughts and Nuts, and wow, I started the intro way ahead. I mean, not ahead, way far into recording, which is good. Fish you guys. Yay. So, yes. How's life? Mine has been chantu je lah, like that. Because number one, I have an ingrown toenail, and every time I walk, my toe starts bleeding, and to a point where there's flesh coming out of it, which I have to go to the clinic to get it removed next week around Sunday or Friday. I mean, yeah, to say that I did not take care of my toenails is very, oversimplified. I always cut it properly, but yet probably this time cut it in a rush, and I'm always walking back and forth to the kitchen, to the garbage area to throw trash, something like that. Yeah, I have no reasons. Probably it's on my it's my fault. But hey, who cares? And other than that, I have to take a goddamn driving license. Yay! I mean, for a good reason though, to be a member of the society, you need driving license. Even if you're not gonna be a member of society, I'm gonna need it because I have to drive to the market to buy groceries. Guess why my sister won't even drive when she has a driving license? More responsibility for me because I literally vowed myself like during like 2 3 years ago, like to myself, and said it to my mom. I guess you forgot about it, that I already have a diving license, and that is all I need. I do not want a what you call driving license, because why? I would rather take the train if I have to go to the city, KL, or anywhere. And if I have to go like somewhere far like Perak or Kedah, take the bus. But then, everything is expensive. The country is not helping at all. Economy. I mean, funny how I deleted I deleted the previous episode because it was full of complaints about life. I literally wanted to do this like thoughts and knots, more of a the knots in my mind or something like that, and then it ends up me being complaining, being
Oh, this is so hard. You should have done to do that. I mean, like, I sound like a Karen.
and I did not like that. So due to that, I deleted the previous episode. I mean, pretty much no one watched it or listened to it, which is good. I became self-conscious about it because I was losing consistency with posting my podcast, and also I really don't know what to post and talk about either. I should expand my repertoire in this
Repertoire. Repertoire. Repertoire lah. Kan? Repertoire.
or genres. I should start playing games, but then at the same time, I cannot play games like Resident Evil or Battle Royale style Fortnite, Apex. I mean, probably Apex I could play, but then at the same time, I'm really bad with playing with strangers. So if there's anyone who wants to play, uh, I think I should try Apex so that I could just like have more things on my channel instead of just me talking shit and stuff and complaining about life. Also, I'm planning to do bass covers also, so that because I enjoy doing bass covers also. Yeah, I enjoyed playing bass guitar, but then at the same time, it's hard to record during the day due to like noises outside and then not making noises for people in the house because my mom's teaching, and then living in an apartment or condominium, whatever this place is or whatever it is, I don't know. uh when you're living in a like such building, you will be like more self-conscious about not making noises, although some people can't comprehend that and just make noises whenever they want. Yeah. And due to that, I had to set up a few things, which is I had to buy cables to straight up record to my laptop and not phone, because phone is like, it's good for camera only. If I use my mic for like from iPhone, it's gonna be like bzz, 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 and it's gonna be like very troublesome to edit. Yeah. Speaking of breaking consistency, I really, I really don't know what to talk about most of the time. And whenever it's like I have this topic, it ends, as I said, it becomes a life complaint, and then I became more conscious about it. It's like, do people really want to listen to me ranting about life? It's like no one's gonna relate that much. Yeah. All right. When it comes to consistency, I really don't know how to be consistent. I mean, I will be because usually I have this, like, I get inspired easily. For example, uh oh, someone's playing bass guitar. I want a bass guitar because I really like the sound of it. And then, oh, tarot card. This guy is reading tarot cards. I want to do tarot reading. And thus I did tarot reading. And it's like, and there's like animation. Oh, animation is so cool. I want to do animation. And pretty much most of it I did a lot at the very beginning, like bam 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 bam, I keep on posting and all. And then yeah, poof, I'm gone from the consistent rate of posting. It's like it's always getting caught up in something, like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. I mean, it shouldn't be a reason or an excuse. I mean, I could just like just put things up because um the trick to making things or content that I learned is that do not go for quality. I shouldn't have deleted the previous one, but then it's been done, so you know what, whatever. um Keep on posting quantity over quality at the beginning. I mean, as much as people say do a side hustle while sleeping, earning money, I mean, it's not as easy as it sounds, because one thing that people need to know is that whenever you're starting something, consistency at the very beginning with quantity of it, with a large quantity, is very important. And when the time comes, usually like when you've done a lot, for example, podcasts, I always stop 3 months or 10 episode or 15 episode, because I run out, I ran out of like I ran out of what you call topics, like proper topics to talk about. And yeah, pretty much that happens. Or sometimes I realize that I cannot multitask in and is rather than serious, I mean, it's normal, because multitasking is a serious bullshit that people require you, like, can you multitask? I'm like, yeah. If it's shitting while playing phone and then laughing, yes, multitask is what I'll do better.
I do best, not better.
The reason why I realized that I cannot do multitasking is because, number one, I am bad at waiting for people or anything or tasks. For example, like taking this driving license is gonna take like, I have to go past to this and then this and then this. It's gonna be like 3 months, something like that. And I cannot focus on doing anything else because waiting makes me anxious, like serious, like big time anxious. And another example would be whenever there's someone coming, and then my mom be like,
This guy will come at 2.
and then okay, I'll stop everything because why I really cannot focus um regarding the waiting part and then doing my thing. And the reason also another reason why I always make my work or my stuff later is because I prioritize everyone else before myself. And that is bad because why? It's like I don't respect my quality time or my worth. I mean, because there are other, like, I have like my brother and my little sisters, like, they're there to do so. They're not doing anything much. I mean, living, if you're counting as they're still living, yeah, but you know, pandemic's not going anywhere yet. COVID-19 is not going anywhere, and the country is in a rut, and everything is pretty much going down to a point where it's funny where people be like earlier in the early phase of COVID-19, people like,
The numbers is so high. It's 38.
and then nowadays it's reaching like 4 digits. Everyone doesn't seem to, well, rather than care much, it's more of a, oh, 4 digit. Is it going down? Hmm. Because we kind of like realize or aware by the fact that the country is not managing well when it comes to lowering the numbers or straightening the curve horizontally, not vertically. Yeah. So yeah, that's something about it. Like, I cannot multitask, and if in the future people be like, can like when going to job interviews, can you multitask? This is my advice to anyone listening. If they ask you, can you multitask? Say no, because they will use you. That's number one. Second, you cannot multitask. Third, if you say you can multitask, that's pretty much just you bullshitting, or pretty much very what you call desperate to get a job. And when you're desperate to get a job, you will regret in the long run or when you get that job because they will pretty much use you. I mean, it's normal to work for a company or something. I mean, because for example, you get paid this much to do that much. Balance. However, you don't realize that like there's no term of reference where, oh, this should be in my line work. Why am I doing other people's other departments work? When you're getting that, you should be aware, or should be like you should know where your line of work or like your department work lies, where you are in. Like if you're doing admin work, then your work should consist of admin works. Unless you're understaffed, then well, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, this is me complaining about the past again. I should really stop doing that. Because the reason why I also contemplate about mm, doing podcasts is because one thing is that I in real life, if you meet me, I'm very shy. Rather than shy, I get anxious with people. I mean, It's normal that I would get more chummier and warm up with people that I know. I mean, normal. That's how knowing people works. And but then at the same time, it's like how like if you know me, if you looked at me in the like when if we meet for the first time, the first thing or the last thing that you expect is that me doing a podcast, as I am very, very silent in real life. I only like, oh, okay, okay. I give reactions to what people say instead of me saying back. Like, but then no, I don't really do that in real life. As I say, I prioritize other people over mine, which is not good because I do not respect myself. It's not that people don't respect me, it's me not respecting myself for not giving myself chances to speak up. Yeah. Some people may say blaming yourself is so negative, but it's not really blaming. The idea of blaming is the idea of acknowledging that you've done it and trying to improve on that. Yeah. And also, speaking of working, I realized that we are in the era where a lot of people have the tendency to work alone better. When I say work alone, it's not that um, I want to do everything on my own. No, it's like freelancing. We'll do this part only, and then the other part we'll pass it to other people, depending on their skills or whatever they're good at. And when I say that we are in the era where people prefer to work alone, it's because I thought I'm crazy or dumb to like to ditch working uh to ditch like to what do you call to quit my job because it's really stressful to work in a company where people keep on calling you dumb, keep on using you, something like that. I mean, yes, if at first if you think about some people would think it's like
I mean, that's normal. You're working in a company. You work for them.
that is where I draw my line. I can work with people if they respect if we each other respect our lines, like our capabilities, and not like
You do this, you do that. I don't care.
finish it. And then if we make mistake,
Wow, you're so dumb. Hiya.
I said in the very first place, I cannot do it. Yet you pushed me, so that's what you get. And you're calling me dumb for it. Guess what? You are dumb also because God, you're dumb. Yeah. And also, as I say, like, is I thought I was the only crazy person to do so. I mean, like, I should. People would say like, you should be grateful to have a job, dude. No, I mean, looking looking back at when I quit, that was my glorious moment. The same glorious feeling when most of us graduated high school. You know, people say, when was the last time you jumped like yay, like yay, like you really celebrated that moment? Is that when we graduated high school? Most of us. And if we think about it, most of us, yes, we all might have cried like
We're like, hope we can be friends still forever.
then we forgot each other for another 10 years. I mean, that's normal. It's what my mom said. Because why that moment? After high school, the next 10 or 15 years, you're gonna be like focusing on your own because you know what to do afterwards, or you're searching for who you are and what you're gonna be in this life, something like that. And yeah, I did not regret quitting that job because it's hell. And then it surprises me that some people that I know are willing to work there for money. I mean, for certain reasons lah, for their on their own circumstances, whatever it is, do not judge because it's it's their life. You can like judge in your like silently, but then do not speak or say it out loud to them because it's insensitive in a way. Yeah. Also, um, yeah, getting back to as I thought I was the only one crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not dumb. It's not that I wasn't being grateful or at all. Because nowadays, there are people who are the same as I, who is the same as me, who are willing to work on their own with whatever they are doing, with whatever the skills they have. I mean, it's gonna be like very long to take. I mean, but at the same time, glad that I know. It's glad to know that I'm not the only one thinking that working in a company is not preferable personally. And I don't mean that everyone should do this. There are times or there are circumstances where people should be like, I mean, if it were rather allow, if you should do it, do it. But at the same time, reconsider if like how long can you last, or can you really put up with it without having every day like yeah, like having to like feel bad about why am I working here again. I mean, you can try, you can test the waters if you want to, because there's, speaking of contract, I realized that if the company says we are a very friendly, you know there are things you need to consider if like the company, when they say what about us, we are very friendly and family oriented, we do this and that, you need to consider also because they might be manipulative as hell. Like, I don't know, there's something fishy about that line. And also, speaking of working in a company, although I said I cannot do work, I mean, I cannot work for a company. I mean, I can work in a studio because one thing, it's because there's proper term of reference. I mean, for example, if you're working in a production studio, they know, okay, this guy is good with editing, so you'll be in the editing only. That's the line. I mean, and then also, oh, this guy is very good with managing and all, so you'll be in the production. And then, oh, this guy is good with planning, and then you'll be in the pre-production. I mean, that's pretty much. Although it's a very rough term of reference, it's better than, you know, mm, the place that I worked previously. Because number one, they do not want things to fail. Well, not that place. Studios, like production studios. I mean, not all, probably some. I like I like it if, well, to say that I like is very, you know, what do you call, selfish. But then that's how I prefer. That's why I said, if there is no company that suits my preferences, I mean, like, it's not really preferences, like, this is good for me because I know that is good for me. This is what I'm capable and comfortable doing with. Then I'll go to that company. And number one that I prioritize is that I want the place to be very casual. Like, I always wear a hoodie, and I love it if the company, like, does not force you to wear collar. Yeah. And when I was like taking the 6 hour lesson for driving license shit, I got pretty much surprised and shocked, culture shock lah, because I got so used to casual with hoodies and just sneakers. I mean, sneakers, yeah, sneakers. I mean, that is smart casual, so that's still okay. But I prefer hoodie no matter what. And the fact that they they ask you to wear collar, I got like, no. Oh my god. Do I have any shirts with collar? And I only have two. So, I mean, because I'm comfortable not being uptight, and I want it like, there's a proper guideline, there's a proper, like, what do you call, guide, what do you call, there's proper workflow that I can like follow, but at the same time we're casual about it. And if you want to know if that place is casual or not, the place or the workplace most likely to have a bin bag. And yeah, something like that. Well, thank God in this topic there's is very light and not complainy. Hopefully it's not very complainy. Oh, and also if you're listening this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I realize that my views in like audio form is very is higher than in YouTube. And because of that, if you could, if you're listening to this, it would be nice. I mean, not, it's not nice. Wait, can you like? Not can you like? It would be lovely for me, and I'll be happy if you could just like, while listening to any of my future episode podcasts, if you're listening in audio form, like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, can you, if I mean, if you can, if you cannot, then it's okay. Just open your laptop or anywhere and let the YouTube video, the video form podcast run in the background. Just mute it. I mean, it's okay. Because I want to like increase my watch hour in order for me to monetize my channel. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. It would be lovely if you could watch it on YouTube also. I mean, you could use Spotify, you can use both. Choose whichever platform you like. but I would love it if you, when you do that, just let YouTube run on the background, in the background. Just mute it, but mute the YouTube because you're pretty much gonna listen on Spotify again. And plus, listening on phone with YouTube is not really recommendable because you need to. It's not because you cannot, what do you call, play it on the back. Like you cannot close the app while listening, which sucks. Personally thinking, I mean, it's like a very first world problem. But rather than first world problem, it has been a long time problem that people have been like, yeah, YouTube, can it play when the app is closed? But then they're like, nope, we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do shorts, bruh. So yes, I guess that is all from Zoli Moli's thoughts and thoughts. It has been Zoli Moli. Bye bye.